In this video, we'll look at calling client-side functions with the method ui.Interface frontCall. ui.Interface frontCall allows you to call functions defined in the front-end client, typically the Genero desktop client. The function is executed locally on the workstation where the front-end client resides. The syntax is to call ui.Interface frontCall passing the module name, the function name, the parameter in list, and the parameters to be returned. Standard is a module that includes some predefined functions that you can use. So for example, you could call ui.Interface frontCall passing the standard module, the cbset function, which is the clipboard setting, passing to the clipboard, this is a test, and then a return code which will return true or false depending on the success of passing that information to the clipboard. Now there are other built-in functions that can be used from the standard module, and they are to execute, which is to run a command on the client machine, feinfo to return the front-end properties, shell exec to open a file on the client machine with the associated program, get_env reads an environment variable, mdclose unloads a library, launch URL launches a URL or mail to program, and getWindowID returns the node ID for the current window. You can also use the standard function to open a directory, open a file, save a file, and then all of the functionality for the clipboard. Clear the clipboard, set the clipboard, get the contents, add text to the clipboard, or paste the content of the clipboard to the current field. You can also call your own client-side functions. In this example, there is a DLL getReg being called that has a function called getReg as a part of it. So this example would load a DLL called getReg, call the function, pass a key and item value, which as you can see here have been set to particular values, and then return back the value from the Windows registry. Let's take a look at another running example of using the frontCall method. Here's an example of a program that uses frontCall. There is a button here on the form that is associated with an action that uses frontCall to open a specific file. So when the user triggers that action to occur, this document1.txt file is opened. Now this file resides on the client side, and frontCall again allows access to the client side functions. So let's take a look at the code that allows for this. In the 4GL, there is a call to ui.Interface frontCall that is calling the standard module and the shell exec function. So again, the shell exec function opens a particular named file with the associated program. Then we're passing in path, and you can see path here is set to document settings user 13 desktop document1.txt. And then this variable here just returns the exit code. Let's comment this out, and let's use another one that's available in version 2.20, and that is to call a URL. So let's make a call to ui.Interface .frontCall, and again we're going to call the standard module, and the function we're going to call this time is launch URL, and we can either type in a URL like an HTTP address, or we can use mail to, and we'll just do mail to training@4js.com. And what this will do is launch the default mail program and allowing the user to begin an email directly to this address, training@4js.com. And now when we execute this, you can see that the default mail program is started with the address to who to mail automatically assigned.